most of the stuff was traveling. I remember what's his name? I remember. Let me think. The Mexican guys, the brothers, Guerrero.
Right.
Yeah, I'd travel with Guerreros quite often, and they were pretty wild. We got drunk a few times and ended up with girls in the hotel room, and then, laid out and done things wrong in the bed and kind of crazy stuff like that. But locker room stories, I haven't got many of those. Not in Bill Watts' territory. Bill kept too much of a thumb on it.
Right. How did the boys find out about the sale to WCW?
It was really announced. There's always rumors about what's going to go on.
Right.
But then it was basically announced, and they'd announced that it was going to be bought by what's his name?
Ted Turner?
No,
Crockett.
Crockett, and then Crockett came, and we saw Crockett, watching all the matches, and then everybody was trying to do their best so that they'd get picked by Crockett, when it was being sold.
You eventually went over there in, I guess, 1987.
Right.
For a little bit.
Right.
What was that like? Do you think they missed the boat?
I missed the boat there.
No, I mean, do you think they missed the boat as far as doing it? When they bought it, they could have done a promotion versus promotion for UWF.
Yeah. I mean, instead of just
killing the guys off
and taking them, I believe they could have done a promotion versus promotion. I remember that. And it's like, why don't they do this? Keep it, that could go on a year, 9 months, a year. And then, have it as one. And I never understood why they didn't do that, because it could have been this side against that side. It would have been great. But instead, they niched a lot of people and then took some.
When you were there for that time period, what did you think of the locker room and as far as things were getting on? Because that's pretty much a pretty national company, big company.
Yeah, it was, and it was pretty cliquey.
Right.
I remember that the guys, the Dusty Rhodes, and all the people like Lex Luger, and there was Ric Flair. I mean, just the Andersons, or Arn Anderson anyway. But I mean, it was like pretty cliquey, and it was like, I realized there was a clique here. And I was a bit silly. I think I missed the boat because, like I said, back then I was a little bit too cocky for my own good, I believe. And it was like, hey, if I can't be it, then I don't want to know. And I remember getting what I considered underpaid for one show, I believe somewhere in the Carolinas, and wasn't very happy. So I just walked out and left.
Right. Now, you eventually went back to World Class in 1988, I believe.
Right.
Right. You left, I guess, Crockett in 87 and went back to Texas in 1988. How different was the company when you came back?
Pretty different. I'm trying to think who was in there at the time. I remember I went on the independent circuit for a little while. And maybe you can could you just remind me on...
That, it just says in 88 World Class, and then in 89 Indies, it started your wrestling school. But the real Indies didn't happen until like 96, 95.
Right. Yeah, so I was independent really mainly for that time.
Right.
I'm blind, man. I can't see. The Von Erichs had died, and Gino had died, and I mean, it was just a place to really go and make some money, and it just wasn't the same.
The Freebirds came back too eventually.
Freebirds came back, but that wasn't even the same either. It just didn't have the same magic. I believe that it every so often, every cycle of professional wrestling, you get that magic formula.
Right.
Like I believe, Vince has got now. I mean, it's just that magic bunch of guys, and they all work well together. They all mean something. And when you try and rehash it, there's always something missing.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.